when we communicated to the White House, we communicated to the United Nations, we communicated to the EU. Our demand was that we demanded them to stop deporting people back to Nigeria, especially the Biafra people.
Okay.
And after that, you see that the 23 congressmen and women wrote a petition to the Secretary of Homeland Security in the United States, demanding that they must stop deporting people to Nigeria. It was a follow-up of our message, of our letter to the White House and to the Congress and to the U.S. Senate. So the government is working, and you can see when those people making videos about our headquarters, they say this is where they wrote UN, this is where they wrote this one, this is where they, and you can hear them say they are going to write a counter letter. But of course, they are not matched with us, because the people you are going to write counter letter, they don't know who you are. They're going to search information. So we came to this thing prepared. And this is something that was, built many years before now. Before I joined the Biafra struggle, I prepared myself. And God prepared me for what you see today happening. So we are taking advantage of that. Not just we are taking advantage, we initiated it. That's why I said on the 1st of May, we wrote to the United States, we wrote to the White House, and on the 9th of May, the Congress picked those things up and started putting pressure that people should stop. They should stop deporting Nigerians back home, back to their country, because of armed conflict. And I want to also point out very clear something that was very interesting in that particular communication. They acknowledge that there is armed conflict in Nigeria. And that is what is going to break Nigeria into pieces. That particular word in that particular letter, that there is armed conflict. That armed conflict have started. It is not going to stop until Biafra is free from Nigeria. And then also they mention about the northern Nigeria where they have terrorists and all that. So your question is, what are we doing? And my answer is, we initiated what you see happening today in America. And we are taking advantage of what is coming after that.
Okay, this communique, is it limited to White House, UN, or it is circulated within the member nations?
It is circulated not just to the White House, not just to the Congress, not just to the UN, but it is also circulated. It was sent to the European Union. It was sent to the European Union Parliament. It was also sent to the President of Finland, to the former President of Finland, and many others. So it is not just about the United States and all that. We copied many people, many nations, and many leaders to have knowledge of it. Of course, in the European Union, we demanded, which they responded and acknowledged that, and then also they responded that they acknowledged the content of the communique, and then also give further direction on what to do, which we have done. So the process is on.
On a follow-up question, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a very cordial relationship with Japan. Did you continue that kind of understanding? I am specific about Japan, sir.
Yes. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, I called on everyone who has anything going on to come forward and let us put them together to work. So now it is left for those in Japan to sit up. I had a meeting with people in Japan, and they asked pertinent questions that bothers them, and I believe that they were satisfied with what the response I gave them. So I'm waiting for them to come forward with whatever they have. I'm not in Japan.
For 2 years, we are waiting for them, sir. On this point, I think I will not be fast to make assertions, but I think that some people around that area are complicit, because if for 2 years You are waiting. I
No,
know of Japan.
no. I just had a meeting with them a few weeks ago.
Okay. That
Yes.
clears it. I withdraw my statement and I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
And the last and not but not the least, you talked about de facto government in Biafra land and the name of people that will be running the show. And I say I should ask you, having known how the Nigerian government goes about bribing our people and then killing our people at will you second guess what your approach to de facto government, or you will go ahead, sir?
My approach to the government, de facto government, is something that none of the people who have been in the Biafra struggle have seen before. I am a no-nonsense person. Once you are found wanting for one thing, you are out. You can go to hell. That's it. So everyone serving in the de facto government, I believe, are those who are ready to get their freedom. So I'm not here to suspect any of them. I give them my trust. But anyone found wanting is gone. Thank you.
Do they? I think I want to know. It's a follow-up question. The people that want to undertake this tax, do they know the risk involved? Have you explained to them? Are
They
they
know the,
enlightened?
they know
Like
the risk involved. Most of the people in the government, the de facto government, has been in this struggle for 20 years.
I have a concern that I must bring to the fore.
Go
We
ahead.
have somebody selling CD plate according to your exposition. The one of those that were holding a vital role, maybe Eastern coordinator, is selling CDs. He was pushing CD plate on a wheelbarrow. And when he was taken to one of the highest rank, he found Biafra liberation as an opportunity to enrich himself, hereby giving counter orders, even contrary to that of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The other man is a more powerful. How he is selling cable charger in Ghana, and if they offer him 40 million that he has never dreamt of in his life, he capitulated. So, did you take all this into consideration? First of all, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said there is nothing, there is no relationship between poverty, illiteracy, with freedom fighting. If the yardstick of these people is being 20 years in the struggle, how educated are they? How enlightened are they? How disciplined are they? I'm not questioning your discretion, but I would like Biafrans to have a glimpse of what we are expecting.
Yes, I want you to understand that no matter how people are poor, there are still principled people out there. And like I said, everything is not all about money. Everything is not all about wealth. There are people that are still principled and they are out there. So those people that are going to serve under the de facto government in the homeland, I know the strategy I'm going to use. And it has worked in the exile government, and it is going to even be more effective in the homeland. So leave that to me. That is why I am different.
Okay, are you still going to name them
Of course.
with their full identity?
No, I've said it. We're going to abbreviate their names.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
for security purposes.
Uh, Based on this, we yield the mic for now for someone else to come in. Thanks for your time, and the rest you will see it on your inbox.
Thank you very much. That was a good one.
Thank you.
It was more of
Thank
interview than question.
you. Forgive me,
that, that,
don't mind me.
this is a very good content you have created. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, are you going to continue bombarding me with the questions? You're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir, from here,
Yes,
my PM.
you're welcome.
This guy have taken all the question from you. I never. Both the one I dreamt of, both the one I proposed, both all of them took them away from me.
You took them away. That's good. You can still
So
find. You can still find
notwithstanding,
some.
can I go back to a previous question I wanted to ask you on Twitter space the other time before the vote of no confidence on those governors?
Go ahead.
Most of the things, let me say, the question we haven't bringing to you, it came from you. And so you normally say what we done is bigger than us. So before this election, you told us not to vote any politician, and we heed to your word. Then after this election, you said we should do vote of no confidence. So my question before I wanted to ask is that the governor we did not vote, by doing vote of no confidence, to me it's like we are invalidating those who did not vote in the first place.
Which governor? Which governor?
No, you said we should not participate in the election. We anchor to your word. But
Yes.
after the election, you said we should do vote of no confidence on the governors then. So we went ahead and make that vote of no confidence. So to my little Akara brain, I'm thinking that we are invalidating those who did not vote in the first place by
No.
doing that vote of no confidence. So I want to
No. No.
clarification.
No. Uh, what we did was to vote government of Nigeria, government, the presence of the government of Nigeria, call it by name, those who represent Nigeria in Biafra territory, and they are the governors. And governors were not even voted yesterday. Most of the governors were voted in 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and last year. So even if we voted those who participated in the last election, we give them vote of no confidence, it is still the right thing because we are voting against Nigeria government in Biafra territory. So it includes whoever was voted last month, whoever was voted last year like Soludo, whoever was voted last 3 years, 4 years ago. It includes all of them. If you fall into the governorship, if you fall into the local government chairman, fall into Senate, House of Rep, and Councillor. These are people that constitute Nigeria government in Biafra territory, and these are the people who gave vote of no confidence. And it is more of spiritual than physical.
Okay. Thank you, my PM. What we don't know is bigger than us. So my other question is this: most things you bring to us, to me, follow your footsteps. I understand most of the things we do is that you are getting the Nigerian government confused. So some people sometimes when I report some of your people say, "Unless no shut up, you no go fit do it." He says so this 78 hours they go release Mazina the Kano. Do this and not that. People like attacking me personally that unless so is PM Brukasa. So I did laugh because me I understand that most of the thing you are doing, if you want strike, the government will know the particular place to tackle it because you don't throw many things for grant. So me, I
Exactly.
understand that. But the guy that constantly confuse me when we say you throw a bigger than me, I want ask. Now, for this France, I based in France, Nigeria driving license is as useless. It not get used. And now you brought that Biafra driving license for us. So I want to know how that one, so that man for who apply for that one now. How that one go take the function for this country, me, they mean for who apply.
Well, the driver's license is in the same category of use like the passport. So the driver's license is not yet, to be accepted by any nation because we are not yet independent nation. So, but we are just preparing the driver's license and many national identification card in their various levels. To get ready that we don't need to keep our Biafra people all over the world hanging and waiting for too long before we can constitute the transitional government, before we can begin to appoint this one and that one. We have set those things in diaspora and in exile to be full functional. So immediately Biafra is restored, the government in exile will be dissolved, and every structure of the government in exile will serve as a temporal mission of Biafra. So that that driver's license automatically will be adopted by the transitional government of Biafra and approved. It becomes recognized internationally.
Okay. Thank you, my PM. My last question before I jump out. I beg, this de facto government owned land because me, I don't explain now. The reason I say, but they will get office like road safety, like in the Biafra land, or like office like a barrack, or are they going to be like the Ambazonia, securing one place in Biafra land? Say, but this territory belongs to the Biafra people. So please, I don't know if you can help us on that particular one.
Our liberation will start from Imo State.
There will be an office there that we can go and people can go.
We're not, because of the hostility and aggression, we're not going to have a physical office at this point in Biafra land. But of course, it is our plan to do have one when we have secured our land.
That is to be like, is it going to be like, the Amazonia, they have some place they secure for themselves.
We are not doing like Ambazonians. These are two different people with two different problems. We have designed the situation that suits our problems and our need. And that's what we're going to follow.
Okay.
Ambazonians are not having double mind that they have business here and there in Cameroon. Biafrans are doing that. Okay?
Yes.
Most of the people supporting Nigeria today are not supporting it because they love Nigeria. They're supporting it because they think that they have investment somewhere. Amazonians are not like that. So these are two different people, two different things, two different problems. So we have designed the things that suit the problem we have in Nigeria, and especially the Biafra people who claim they have businesses here and there. So this particular mechanism we are going to use is going to work perfectly well. We are not going to have any physical office, but we are going to have when the time comes. But for now, is to build all the structures and begin the fight of liberation.
Thank you, my PM.
It's all
to speak with you, sir. Thank you, sir. More grace, sir.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to end here. I wanted to spend 1 hour 45 minutes, but here I'll spend 1 hour 34 minutes, and it's quite a very good time because a lot of questions were asked. And for that, may God bless you. See you again in the evening. We are going to have another broadcast sometime later in the evening if I have the time. Thank you. May God bless you.
Possess. And I told them, I said, Simon Ekpa is fully possessed and also is a man that everybody should be careful to stay out. What's the meaning of that? The meaning of that is what is called possessed with the spirit of freedom. When somebody is possessed with the spirit of freedom, it will be in such a way that the person has no any other thing to do than to fight for what's called freedom. So you look at the Biafra land as a place called the fatherland of Biafra. The spirit of freedom right there in Biafra has already completely possessed Simon Ekpa. And as he has possessed Simon Ekpa, you that is trying to begin to, make noise or fight with him or do one thing or the other, you are also fighting the spirit of freedom. And if anything happened to you, it is not my concern because you don't understand how spiritual things and the things of the spirit goes. Because in the realm of the spirit, when God wants to make sure somebody is used for a purpose, the person will be used based on the coming upon the spirit or what the kind of power that has possessed you or the spirit that has possessed you. So spirit of freedom is already in his life and has possessed him fully, and they cannot talk any other thing than what's called freedom. And if anybody needs to move on the same direction or the same path, you must also come to the level of that level of spirit of freedom to endow you and possess you. And then you can be able to talk about freedom. People that talk about freedom with empty mouth, they end up and they're carried by chaff. When the wind blows, they are carried away. People that talk about freedom, when something bribe is given to them, they will just betray and go away. But people that are possessed with the spirit of freedom, with the spirit of Biafra land, no matter the bribe you give to them, they will never accept your bribe. They will never agree with you. If you like, take presidency of social country, they will never accept it from you, except that freedom that has possessed them, that they are after. That's what they go about. So Simon Ekpa is already filled with the spirit of what's called freedom fighting. And so you should stay clear and not fight the man that has received what is called the grace or received the power or the spirit of freedom. Don't fight that man. Fighting that man will destroy your life. It may even cost you what you will never, you and your generation may continue to suffer it. So I am not here to begin to, follow anybody or side anybody. I am here to throw the light of what I am seeing in the spirit, because the spiritual always control the physical. And when I'm giving the message that's called the spiritual message, I pass it raw the way it is. So Simon Ekpa is a man that has already been filled and also possessed fully with the spirit of freedom. And spirit of freedom is not the kind of spirit that you joke with. When Jesus came upon the face of the earth, he said, the spirit of the Father is upon me, for he has anointed me. The Spirit of the Lord has come upon me. He has anointed me to preach the good tidings, to spread the good news, to carry the word of God all over the place. And Jesus went about, was doing exactly what the Spirit of the Father possessed him to do. And that same Spirit was what made him, that even to extent that he died on the cross and was buried, and on the third day he resurrected, because there's a Spirit that quickeneth the dead body. And the Spirit quickened Jesus, and Jesus went up and began to do exactly what he came to the world to do. So Simon Ekpa, you are seeing, is a disciple of what's called freedom fighting, and the spirit of freedom has fully possessed him, and you can never separate him from that spirit. And they can never one day wake up and talk about any other thing rather than talking about freedom. And that is why most of the revelations you are seeing, and most of the deep mysteries and deep things that is bringing out here and there, is based on the spirit of freedom that is upon his life. So if you want to stop him, go first of all and remove the spirit of freedom out of him. So when you remove the spirit of freedom, then you can have a way. But if you cannot remove the spirit of freedom, you better join him and not fight him. That is what's going on. And then you come to the Biafran land as a Biafran nation. All the people that must talk about freedom are people in the class of what's called Jim or Jumegu or Juku. We talk about people, you go straight away, you talk about somebody like Namo Decano. You talk about every other person that is not known, but they are hot. You talk about Simon Ekpa. You talk about Major Prophet David King Elijah. We are not talking about this freedom based on, we are or we want to collect money or this or that. We are talking about the emancipation of God's people. God's people is...
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very aware.
All right, to my people, I see warriors. I see mighty warriors. You don't say we no go fit come out like that. Make we just tell Biafran something. Make I start from my right end down. Awada Obiageli, can you hear me? Okay, I see say she know that around.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, have the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
You
are doing great job. You go and bam, bam, bam. Papara on your the commissioners. I see everybody. My brother. In the right, I see you. God bless everybody. You are doing a good job. Biafra is here already. Don't mind them. Our Prime Minister have done wonderfully well and forgives all the Fulefus, all of them. He did one. I cried yesterday, Biafrans. If that thing didn't touch you yesterday, how he had forgiven who wanted him dead by all means, who have signed petition against Simon, who have done many things to stop our struggle, to stop this freedom, to stop Biafra. All the people that have been singing praises for Nigeria, that killed our innocent mothers, brothers in Biafra land. So I want to ask one question. If they give you Obi, will you wake those people up? Will Obi go and wake them up from the where they throw their dead bodies? Some of them we did not receive their dead body till today. Some are still trapped. Some are still trapped inside the forest. Simon Ekpa is the good guy. He's not your problem. He will never be your problem. He had a good heart for his brothers and sisters. That's why he forgave all of you, the Kurumri smokers. That's why he forgive every down body and still call you. Nwamefu, come back home. Takabubo. It takes a good man, onye nwere obi nwanne, to do that. But remember, his good heart is not for the enemies. The enemies that killed our people, we don't have any good heart for them. We must fight back with the last drop of our blood. So Nwamefu, come back now. Come back now, Takabubo. Come and join what we are doing. Come and join this and restore it. You don't want your unborn children to start fighting this tomorrow. You don't want your unborn generation to meet what have swallowed your grandparents, swallowed your parents, swallowed you and your children today. We are going home. It is Biafra or Biafra. This is the time. Go to www.ipobinusa.org/donate. That is where you will go and cleanse yourself before the Okike Abiyama will forgive you. Before our ancestors that have died in this struggle will forgive you. That is the only way you will go and receive deliverance. You must go there. Makando. Umuai. No umuai. Yagazien. You that is doing whatever you are doing, this is the time you have to increase it. If you know how to comment 100 times, comment. If you know how to like it 1 million times, like it. If you know how to share it everywhere, share it. Because we notice that when we say sit at home, some people did not hear it. Record it and to fire everywhere, even if it is on the WhatsApp. Record it and share it.
Thank you.
Because that's the only weapon that is working. God bless you all. Let me go back to class.
Thank you. Okay, we have Pastor Vam Vam Vam. Pastor Vam Vam Vam, you have the mic. Are you having problem?
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, but my video is not showing. What have I done to my video?
Oh, now you Sabio. Okay, rectify your video. Why we go to Mazi Shooks.
Okay, make I refresh. I have to refresh and come in again.
Okay,
go ahead, Mazi.
You have the mic.
Thank you, my beloved brother 247. Thank you so much for your efforts and all the wonderful work you've been doing. It's not easy. You are just representing your name that you answered. It's not easy to bear that name 247 and you keep it. You are really keeping it. May Chukwu Okabiama continue to strengthen you. And my fellow Biafrans that are watching, any place you're watching from, I appreciate every one of you that have been there listening to our Prime Minister as he has just made the speech and answer the relevant questions. This is an opportunity that many people will not give. So many of them that are pretending to be there to fight for you or fight for me, they will not give this opportunity and they will not do as our Prime Minister is doing. And one thing that is very important that I want to talk about is this very Heroes Remembrance Day that we just had. I see it as the most important heroes remembrance that we can ever have. It is important in such a way that is a time that every Biafran have to reflect to where we are coming from and where we need to go. So many of us on the media have been shouting for a very long time to convince people of the situation at hand, to remind people of the situation at hand. Some ignore the warning, some ignore the instructions, some ignore listening, and some begin to listen to irrelevant informations. But judging from where we are coming from before this very election, our work has been made easy. If you are a Biafran today and you could not use this Heroes Day to reflect on where you are coming from and where you are going, your own case is irredeemable and we can't help you. It has become very, very clear, the situation of the Biafran people. And on that Heroes Day, if you can tell yourself the truth and sincere to yourself, you sit back and watch where we are coming from. Starting from the Civil War up till date, you will now come to conclusion to know that the war has never, ever been over. They have continued to fight that war up to date. And we are now left with no other choice than to exit the zoo. If you are still one of those, I don't think there is still a Biafran that has Biafran blood flowing in his or her vein that will still be having a consideration of giving a chance for this evil entity after everything that has happened. If you are a Biafran and you are still considering giving a chance, even a breathing space, a minute, for this evil entity, I think your own case is irredeemable and we can't help you. We are in a stage now where Chukwu Okikabem has given us a direction through our Prime Minister. The direction is very clear. The pointer is very clear. It is not like in those days when you are just agitating without a target. The target of Biafra in 2023 is a reality. Take it or leave it. It is going to happen. And there are pointers showing that it's going to happen. Every Biafra that is watching, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. If you know the role you are going to play, begin to prepare yourself. Is it going to be easy? It's not going to be easy. Our Supreme Leader Mazen Nande can never promise us an easy ride. Our Prime Minister never promised us an easy ride. Every one of us have to prepare for what is coming. The exit of Biafra in 2023 is a reality. If you were able to sit down yesterday and think what have been transpiring from the 2 years that Mazen Nande have been absent, you will no longer have a reason to think, who am I going to listen to or who am I going to follow? The direction is very clear and straight, except for those who are deceiving themselves, except for those who have sold their soul to the devil. For those of us who are genuinely pursuing the cause of Biafra, pursuing freedom, which is our collective interest where every one of us meets, we must be steadfast and focused. I was very happy yesterday when I watched the broadcast of our Prime Minister. He has opened the door once again. He has opened the door very, very wide once again. And everyone that cares will seize that opportunity to pursue the right direction. With all the attack, all the blackmail, all the propaganda, and all the evil you throw at him, the door is open. Calling for unity. Every agitating group, regardless who you are. Just imagine yesterday, when we talk about the Heroes Day yesterday was observed by every single Biafran. There is no Biafran person today that did not lose a member of a family in the cause of Biafra. There is no Biafran family that did not lose a person in the cause of Biafra. And yesterday was a day that every one of us were united in one front, remembering them, regardless who you are following, regardless what you believe, regardless your tribe, your religion, whatever you think is what you are pursuing. Yesterday was a meeting point for every one of us. It is high time we carry on from there and follow the person that knows the road. Keep your sentiment aside. Keep your anger aside and pursue our collective interest, which is freedom. And as I have said, in choosing a leader, you don't choose a leader because you love him, because you like him, because he's from your village, because he's your tribe, he's your religion. You choose a leader because he's qualified, he has everything to offer. And I can bet you, our Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has the qualities in all ramification. He has it. Physically, spiritually, education-wise, in all connection-wise, he has it. As far as the Biafran struggle is today, he has the key. Let us support him and follow him. And I bet you, our vision of having Biafra in 2023 will be a reality. Thank you so much, my brother.
Ndewo, my brother. Okay, now, Ralph, you can have your mic.
Thank you very much. I don't know if my voice is coming out, but my video is just static.
It is coming.
You can hear me?
Very well.
All right. Thank you very much, fellow comrades. I just want to appreciate our Prime Minister, whom Chukwu Kabiama has really positioned to lead us very, very strong. Lead us with, confidence to Biafra. And, our brother Chuks has given a very solid submission. And if there's anybody out there that really needs freedom and you do not already see that all the potential that is needed to actualize Biafra is embedded in Mazi Simon Ekpa, and you are still kicking at him, then I wonder the kind of human being you are. I wonder the kind of soul you have, And have this in mind. Just have this mindset that if you are against Biafra, you are against your life. You are against your own existence. It is your own very existence that we are talking about here. Your family, your descendants, everything about you that is at stake. And this man has taken it upon himself and have put everything on his shoulder on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because what they expected of you is to give up. And that's why they had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is now, will be so proud when he learns that Mazi Simon Ekpa is carrying on, even when he is not on the scene. Carrying on. And he is not usurping the authority of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is submissive to the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And if there's any one of you that is being deceived to relax, to be at ease, and they are telling you, it is only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let us wait for him. If he comes out, he will lead us to Biafra. That's exactly what they want you to say. That's exactly what they want you to do. But for your information, we have already crossed that bridge. We have crossed these things. And where we are now is where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would love to be. And we are here on his behalf. And we are the ones that will set him free. Because it is Biafra that will set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. It is Biafra. Because just look at what happened to Mandela. Imagine how many years Mandela spent in the dungeon of these same monstrous people that want to come and take advantage, that have come to take advantage of us in Africa. 27 solid years. And he did not give up. Eventually, he came out and became the president. So if they thought they were going to take out our leader and make us stop, do you know that when Mandela was in there, people were out there doing the needful? And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We are not going to fold our hands. We're going to give it to them. Hot. And I tell you, hotter than they even expected from even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because he taught us well. Just look at what Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing. If there's anything you think that we need to add, it is what you should be bringing. Not to be kicking against these very successful and fruitful, innovations that we are bringing on board. If there's anything you feel, okay, it should be more like this, it should be better like this, bring it to the table. We will evaluate everything together. Not for you to come and be saying he's a criminal, he's a Nigerian agent, he's still an agent. Okay, now that all those things have been defeated, what are you going to say again? He's Nigerian agent, he's Tinubu agent, he's Atiku agent. All of them have been defeated completely. What will you bring up again? Wouldn't you bow your head and submit to Biafra? Because it is Biafra that is defeating you. It's not Simon Ekpa defeating you. It is Biafra defeating you. Because anywhere you come, Biafra will defeat you. Because Biafra is a divine project that must be accomplished. Thank you very much, my fellow comrades. I drop my mic here. Thank you.
Biafra Unite, you have the mic. Biafra Unite did, yeah?
Yes, thank you, my brother. I greet you. I greet everyone in the house. I salute you all. Thank you, wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. This is, of course, a wonderful broadcast that we all have gathered together to do the needful. I want to start with what our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, said about the people who wish to, acquire the ID card of Biafra Republic in exile. And they have been against the agitation for quite some time. One thing is this. If I never be more, what we are doing is a thing of the spirit. And so many people are not aware of it. Yet they say, if I never be more. Some people today have betrayed the struggle itself in the name of fighting somebody. A lot of people have betrayed the struggle, have betrayed the freedom of Biafra, have betrayed Biafra land, have betrayed the spirit of our ancestors in the name of fighting Simon Ekpa and autopilot. So, having noticed this, and having put these things into consideration, the Biafra Republic government in exile, through our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, made it very clear today that once you are a Biafran, it does not matter your stand. It does not matter who you follow. It does not matter your treacherous activities in the struggle. If you believe that it is necessary for you to obtain the ID card of Biafra Republic government in exile, is going to be issued to you as long as you meet the requirement. In other words, there is no segregation. There is no discrimination. Everybody is welcomed. Because this is a government, not a group of people, not individuals. So, I want to use this opportunity to let our people understand that Nifa Nema Agafe got the level of individual, or personal benefit or personal interest. What we are doing is for the benefit and the freedom of our land and our people. Not for your individual benefit or personal interest. I want to be in this position. I want to occupy this position. That same position that they have been fighting to occupy since the kidnap and the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the zoo. The person who never ever fought for that position for one day is the person who is occupying the position today. The people who have never fought for any position in the struggle today are the people occupying various positions and offices today in the struggle. So it is not about where you put yourself. It is not about the position you want to occupy. It is about what you can offer to get us Biafra. So those of you listening right now, wherever you are all over the world, the door is open. The door is open for anybody who actually have Biafra restoration at heart. If you know that you have sabotaged the agitation and the freedom of our people and our land without you knowing, because you were confused and convinced that fighting Simon Ekpa and autopilot to an extension Biafra Republic government in exile is the best way to get Biafra. I want to let you know that today is your best chance. Today is your best day ever since you joined this very agitation. Today. Because if you continue to wallow in your ignorance, you will definitely have yourself to blame. You will have yourself to blame because this very train is flying on a very high frequency. On a very high frequency. So you cannot in any way stop it. This very flight, the degree is too high. And the only time it's going to land is in Biafra territory. Is in Biafra land. Now, somebody asked a question again, which I love so much. I have individually treated that very question on one of my broadcasts. That, do you think that what you are doing, do you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in support of what you are doing? Or don't you think you are running so fast? I was very, very happy when I heard that word, fast. First of all, our PM answered the question that yes, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just happy but proud of what we are doing, which is right. Now, I love that word, fast. Yes, we are flying so fast. We are running so fast, faster than cheetah. Is it cheetah or cheetah? There's that animal. That's one of is in the cat family. Cheetah. Yes, thank you. So we are running faster than cheetah. In case you are not aware, the speed is too high. And this is the only speed that you need for your freedom. This is the only speed that the zoo will understand. This is the only speed that suits the zoo. This is the only speed that the world enjoys. The world loves to see this proactiveness. The world loves to see this seriousness. The world loves to see this very intelligence. The world wants to see this intelligence. So in fact, my speed is shocking. Because if you want to ask those who have been fighting for position, claiming to be one gigantic, officer or the other, in the old and defunct DOS. What have they been doing since the kidnap and the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the zoo? I'm talking about the struggle for the restoration of Biafra. I'm asking the Biafran people today, what are they? People should be ashamed. People should be ashamed of themselves when they speak. So, what have the so-called members in the old defunct DOS been doing since the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? The answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you have the answer, kindly bring it up. Because as for me, and as long as I'm concerned, as long as I'm in this struggle, I see nothing. Yes, that is the truth. Because if you are a Biafran today and you are still waiting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out and come on Radio Biafra again and start broadcasting as usual, you do not really understand what is happening in this struggle, and you don't know anything about struggle for freedom. It has stages. Struggle has stages. Anytime, go and read history. The leader of a certain group of people who are struggling to be free is often arrested. I get me right. Is often arrested. The leader of a certain group fighting to gain freedom is often arrested. And whenever the leader is being arrested, he will definitely come out. It's either by bail or by, discharged and acquitted. But whenever that leader is being kidnapped, that leader never comes out again without the independence of that nation. Go and make your research. I don't talk anyhow. Whatever I tell you is pure. That is how it is, because I read a lot from the people who have done this, what we are doing today, before. Go and read. Whenever the leader is being forcefully taken, which is kidnapped, that leader never comes out again. Nobody sees that leader again outside without the freedom of that very nation. It is like that. Mark this word today and go and make your research. It happened in India, Mahatma Gandhi. It happened in South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Even in UK, it happened in UK, in United Kingdom. Yes, it happened in the United States of America, which you are enjoying the freedom today. Go and make research about George Washington, a man called George Washington. Go and read his history. Leaders are often arrested, but once they are being kidnapped, that means they have done something very, very significant that the government in question will no longer accept than to hijack him wherever he is by fire, by force. And there is nothing you can do for them to release him unless he comes out with the freedom. And he doesn't come out with the freedom by being incarcerated in the dungeon or in the prison. Wanzana agba egwu n'iro, o nwere ife na-akụli egwu n'ime ọfịa. When you see a bird dancing on the road, a bird, dancing on the road, there is something that beats drum for her in the bush. That is what gives that leader the much needed freedom, both from the dungeon and for his own people. That is what we are doing today. The leader is inside, but the people who believe in him, the people who believe on his dream and ideas are fighting so hard outside, not just fighting for his release, but fighting for the same thing that he believed, fighting for the same thing that he was fighting for that made the government in question kidnapped him. You don't just go and fold your hands and believing in the lawyers and all those rubbish in the name of judiciary. We are going to court today. We are going to court tomorrow. What about the freedom that your leader was fighting for? What about that? Have you sidelined that? Oh, that one is no longer important. Anyway, because I will definitely be treating this very issue sometime or anytime soon. Let me give opportunity to others to speak. Thank you, comrades. God bless you.
And they will Mazi Biafra Unite. Battle Cry, are you there? Okay. Able Minister Mazi Sonny, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. In the absence of the other comrades, I think we go say goodbye, Biafrans, so that we will be able to prepare, and some of us will come back online again. I believe all these side questions, comment, those that ask these silly questions are mostly in the comment section. They are not bold enough to call into any program or come into the studio. They are not bold enough to go to the Prime Minister's platform and ask their questions. You will only always see people like this Clement, Green, White, Green, coming to my platform to make silly noise. I call them miscreant and distractors. We have gone beyond their level. So Biafrans, we shall see very soon. So make we close this program here so that we will be able to come back, because the Prime Minister said he will be coming back again later. So from here, we are saying bye for now.
Mercy on we, Biafra, Lord, give us a freedom. Have mercy on we, Biafra, and give us a freedom. Oh Lord, have mercy on we, Biafra, and give us a freedom. Father, we need our leader. Prophet, we need our leader. We need our leader. Yeah, man.